Hello everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Esty. Today I will be showing you how I make my delicious homemade meat pies from scratch. This meat pie have a soft buttery crust and a flavorful meat filling that is perfect for breakfast, snacks, party, or anytime you want something tasty. Let's get started. First, we're going to prepare the filling. For the filling, I'm using meat, onions, carrot, bell pepper, garlic, ginger, fresh hot pepper, and fresh herbs and spices, salt, Maggi seasoning, and butter. So we start by prepping our ingredients for the meat filling. So after we are done prepping all of our ingredients, we're going to first place a skillet on a medium heat and we are going to add butter inside. Once the butter melt, we are going ahead to add our onions and saute it until it is fragrant. Next, we add our garlic and ginger, our fresh hot pepper, we add our fresh herb and the spices that we have. We add everything together and stir them. Now we have added our bell pepper and we have added our carrot and we have continued to cook it for a few minutes, and then we add the meat and seasoning with salt and Maggi so that it can taste. So we are going to cook everything together until the meat is fully cooked and the vegetables are tender. Once the filling is ready, we are going to set it aside and allow it to cook completely while we prepare our dough. For our dough, we need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon sugar, 1 bar of butter, 1 egg, yeast, and warm water. So let's start with the mixture. In a large mixing bowl, we are going to add our flour, our salt, our sugar. Then we will add the butter and use our finger to mix it into the flour until we have a crumbling texture.
Everybody come and see my energy. We divide. Now so the feeling they high. We divide. Oh shit. We dancing to the morning light. Cooking with Esty. Cooking with Esty. Now so the feeling sweet. Oh, cooking with Esty. Kitchen don't turn to dance floor.
In a separate bowl, we combine the yeast, warm water, and egg. We stir well and allow the yeast to mix to sit for a few minutes until it is activated. After we are done, we are going to pour this yeast mixture into the flour mixture. Then we'll mix everything together until it is have a soft dough form. So we are going to knead it lightly until we have a smooth form of dough. Then we are going to cover it and allow the dough to sit and rest for some while. So after the dough has rested for an hour, it is time for us to roll and shape the meat pie. So we're going to slightly flour our working space. We roll out the dough until it is smooth and evenly spread. We're going to use a round bowl or a cutter to cut a circular form from the dough. Then we are going to take a teaspoonful of our meat filling in the center of each dough. On the circle, we are going to add the meat in the center. Then we fold the dough over the filling and seal the edge. So we can use the fork for this, or we create any decorative pattern that we like so that around the edge. So we have to continue this process until all the meat pie are assembled.
The aroma where they pull me close, oh. Esty's magic, watch the pepper stew. Come chop life, everything is new. Cooking with Esty. This your stew is fire. Cooking with Esty. You're taking me higher and higher. That sweet sensation, oh my word. Sure. The best I've ever seen or heard. Cooking with Esty. Yeah, yeah. The aroma aroma where they pull me close, oh. Esthy's magic, watch the pepper stew. Come chop life, everything is new. Cooking with Esthy. This your stew is fire. Cooking with Esthy. You're taking me higher and higher. That sweet sensation, oh my word. Sure. The best I've ever seen or heard. Cooking with Esthy. Yeah, yeah. The aroma where they pull me close, oh. Esthy's magic, watch the pepper stew. Come chop life, everything is new.
Then for the next step is the baking step, where we are going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we arrange the meat pie on the baking tray in a small bowl. You have to beat egg white. Then we brush the egg white over the top of each meat pie. This will help to create that beautiful golden brown finish after baking. Once we are done brushing the egg white over the top of each pie, we have to place the tray into the preheated oven. We'll bake it until the meat pie are beautifully golden brown and cooked through. We have to check them occasionally and rotate the tray if necessary for even baking. Once they are done, we have to remove them from the oven and allow them to cool slightly. And there you have it, delicious homemade meat pie with a buttery crust and a flavorful meat filling. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to like, share, comment, and follow Cooking with Esthy for more beautiful, delicious homemade recipes. See you next recipe. Thank you.